Peter Habeler's mountaineering career is often celebrated for his pioneering achievements, particularly his historic ascent of Mount Everest without supplemental oxygen in 1978. However, like many mountaineers, his story also has a tragic side. While Habeler himself survived many dangerous climbs, his life and career have been marked by the loss of close friends and fellow climbers, as well as personal challenges. One of the most tragic aspects of Habeler's tale is his connection to several climbers who lost their lives in the mountains, some of whom were close to him, both personally and professionally. Below are some key moments that reflect the tragic side of Habeler's mountaineering journey: the death of his climbing partner, Reinhold Messner's brother, Günther Messner, 1970. Günther Messner, Reinhold Messner's brother, was a key figure in the early years of Messner's mountaineering career. In 1970, Günther tragically died during the Messner's attempt to climb Nanga Parbat, one of the world's most dangerous peaks. Günther became separated from Reinhold in a storm, and despite attempts to search for him, he was lost. Reinhold Messner's emotional distress over his brother's death shaped much of his future approach to mountaineering. Though Peter Habeler was not directly involved in this particular expedition, it had a profound effect on the mountaineering community, including Habeler, who had shared many climbs with Reinhold Messner. The tragic loss of friends on the mountain. Throughout his career, Habeler faced the harsh realities of mountaineering, where loss is an ever-present possibility. He lost many friends and fellow climbers in the mountains, some of whom were close to him. For instance, Habeler's friend and fellow climber Hermann Buhl, one of the most legendary mountaineers of all time, passed away in an accident while descending from an expedition. Buhl was famous for his first solo ascent of Nanga Parbat in 1953, and his death in 1957 after a fall had a lasting impact on Habeler and many in the climbing community. The tragic circumstances surrounding the 1986 K2 tragedy. Though Peter Habeler was not directly involved in the K2 disaster of 1986, it struck a deep chord with the mountaineering world, and his personal connection to K2 made it all the more poignant. The K2 tragedy involved a series of failed rescue attempts and the deaths of 13 climbers, many of whom had been part of the same community of high-altitude climbers. This event, and others like it, reminded Habeler and other climbers of the risks inherent in their pursuit, especially when climbing at extreme altitudes without supplemental oxygen. It also reinforced the harsh reality that even the most experienced climbers could fall victim to the unforgiving nature of high-altitude expeditions. Personal struggles and reflection. Peter Habeler's career has also involved personal reflection on the risks he faced, particularly after witnessing the deaths of fellow climbers. His success in summiting Everest without oxygen was a monumental achievement, but it came at a time when mountaineering was still an extremely dangerous pursuit, and the peril of losing friends was a constant undercurrent. Later in life, Habeler was known to be reflective about the dangers of climbing. The tragedies he witnessed, alongside the constant physical and mental challenges of high-altitude climbing, led him to consider the costs and sacrifices associated with his love for the mountains. Reinhold Messner and the Bond of Tragedy. Reinhold Messner, Peter Habeler's partner in the historic Everest climb without oxygen, has also experienced significant personal loss. Messner lost his brother Günther in 1970, as previously mentioned, but also suffered the loss of friends during various climbs. The shared tragedies between Messner and Habeler helped solidify their strong bond, not only as climbing partners, but as individuals who understood the deep emotional toll that mountaineering can take. Despite these losses, the two continued to push the boundaries of mountaineering, though the tragic side of their sport always loomed over them. While Peter Habeler is best known for his groundbreaking accomplishments in mountaineering, his story also reflects the tragic side of the sport. The high-risk nature of mountaineering, where climbers must confront the potential for loss at every turn, is a constant theme in his life. The deaths of friends, the emotional scars left by these losses, and the personal sacrifices made in pursuit of summits are all part of Habeler's legacy. His triumphs are celebrated, but they are tempered by the deep understanding that mountaineering can be as dangerous as it is rewarding.